Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. It is Monday, a motivational Monday, a marvelous Monday morning. Can y'all believe it is the 4th of December already? I can't believe it. I hope everybody had a great weekend, ready to get this week started. I know I am. I got a lot done this weekend. How is everybody going with some of the, I'd like to know, guys, how you guys liking like to hear some feedback on how you are liking the morning show. Some of your feedback, what you think, what we should add. Hold on, Lynn. Know what you think. And we'll be glad to hear from you guys. At least I know I will. Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning. How are you?
It's Monday.
I know, right? Girl,
I gotta do something. The struggle was real this morning, sister.
Oh, well, I'm coming off an awesome weekend, so I'm not even struggling. I'm just like hyped and excited. I'm trying to continue.
I can oh yeah, because you call me hyped and excited. So
yes. God has been so amazing. In everything, in every aspect of our lives, everything that we did this weekend, God was there. Even down to the point, JoJo, I got sick. But even in my sickness, I was like, God, thank you, because I knew I needed to rest, but I was so excited and I just kept going and I wanted to go. But their body said, you need to get some rest. And he had to sit me down for a little bit, but that's okay. And I'm still excited because I'm just amazed. I'm sorry, this is not what we wanted to talk about, but I am so amazed at the goodness of God, guys. I am just
good. We're excited. Well, Sarah, I'm glad you like the morning show. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's and I have such a hard time calling you Sarah. Sarah is our faithful listener every morning. So we thank you for being here, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Lynn, I sent out a quote this morning. Did you get it or did you have one?
I haven't had a chance to look at the emails. So you go ahead, please, ma'am, because I'm full. I'm ready to go into finances this morning so we can talk. So if you'll go
all right,
folks, that's good.
All right, I have one for you. Believe in yourself. Have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. That's Norman Vincent Peale. I love that quote. Good morning, Ruthie. Thank you. So that quote again is believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. And that's true. When you're starting this venture with us, you've got to have a reasonable level of confidence that you can make this happen. It has to be there. I don't care how small it is. It's got to be there so that you can start to make things happen. And since Lynn is so excited, Lynn, go ahead and get us started for the day, girl.
Well, guys, the reason I want to say this, and I don't know why it's on my heart this morning, but the reason you can have confidence, and I don't know about you, but the God that I serve says that I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. God gives us God gives us the power. So every single day, one of the things I tell myself so that I can have confidence to move forward, I am the righteousness of God. I walk by faith and not by sight. The favor of God is upon me today and every day. I have more than enough in Jesus' name. I will lend and not borrow. I know all of that. The word tells me all of that every day, but I didn't come to preach to you today. I did come to say, guys, it's time out for us always talking about, from our finances, and we're looking at our money. This goes back to your money ain't got to be funny, guys. We always talking about, I can't afford it. But what I want you to start thinking about as you're moving forward in your life, and this comes from some teaching around Robert Kiyosaki. He says, when we say I can't afford it, it shuts down your thinking, right? And we talk about this poverty mindset and how do we move from this poverty mindset to a mindset of more abundance. So you have to start thinking. So the poor man says, I can't afford it. The resourceful person basically says, how can I afford this thing, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Right.
that rich person says, how can I make it make me money? So those are three very distinct, differently ways
Yes.
of thinking of things. And these are three different ways, three different confidential mindsets, if you will, right? In regards to your finances. So how do you take it to the next level? And one of the things that I thought about as I'm going through this, I was reflecting back on my own life. When we look at things in our lives, when I was in my 20s, right? We were thinking, oh my gosh, people are thinking all these things about me. So it's about what others think about me, right?
Right.
When you get in your 30s, you be like, well, I really don't care what they think about me. And then by the time you get in your 40s, you realize, you know what? Nobody really was thinking about me. So why was I doing all of that? Why was I doing the most, right? So I want you to start thinking about that. Transition that now to your expenses, to your finances, guys. Because oftentimes people tell me, well, I don't want to do this financial thing, right? Because I don't want to live on a budget. I don't want to do these things because I don't want to live with those, within those constraints, within those refinements, you know, that box we put ourselves in.
Right, right.
Beginning to decide I can't have fun with my money if I live and I do the things that you're asking me to do, those things that all of those financial gurus ask us to do in our finances. I won't be able to live the life that I want to live if I do things this way. See, guys, it's not, and this is getting back to your financial confidence strategy. And that ties directly into this. My financial confidence, having confidence in the strategies that I use to ensure that my finances are no longer looking funny. So what are those things that I can now do to build to get a different result? See, guys, there are so many different things that are out there that we are not even remotely aware of. Did you know that there are things that the government wants to do to fund your retirement? Let me say that again. There are things the government will do to fund your retirement, but we haven't even looked at things in that way. We have no idea. I bet some of you, are you intrigued now? Right?
Yes.
So what are those? How you get the government to fund my retirement? Guys, there are so many things that we can do and do differently. The number one thing I'm going to say today is give yourself a raise. You're like, what you talking about, Lynn? You got my attention now. How do you give yourself a raise? You go down to your payroll office, okay? You ask them for your W-4. You pull that W-4 and you're going to submit a new W-4 form. Why? Because you should not be getting a tax refund every year, right? You give yourself a raise by getting that money now in your pocket as opposed to getting it in the tax refund next year. So figuring out what are those different things, what are those small tweaks, those small changes, those things that you need to do to put more money in your pocket, right?
Right.
So give yourself a raise. Go to your payroll office today, your HR person, whomever.
Come see me.
Right. If you work with JoJo, definitely go see her so you can go make those changes. Go in there and calculate what it is that you need to be getting so that you can get your money now as opposed to later. And now don't just get the money now in your account. Now you need to figure out, what am I going to do this? How am I going to maximize on this raise that I've now given myself? How am I now going to have every morning? But I got to make sure he knows 7:15 is the Fearless Morning Show. So if anybody's on here know my dad, send him a text and say, Lynn on her Facebook Live, Dad.
I wonder, like, what happened to Lynn?
But guys, go in there, make sure you know your calculations. Go into there to your not your 401k office, to your payroll office. Get that W-4 form. Get that changed today. Some other things that you can do. Now you want to make this money work for you. Now that you've given yourself a raise, what can you now do with this money? And I'm not talking about just taking it and paying off debt unless that's something that you feel you need to do, then do you. But the other thing that you can now do with that money is now boost your retirement savings. If you are not putting aside at least 15% in your savings for your future, then you need to boost that. So you need to take an opportunity to now take that money and repurpose it. See, the beauty of that, guys, is now you're paying less in taxes. You've reduced the amount of your income that is now taxable. Who doesn't want to pay fewer taxes? I know I do, right? So this is now an opportunity. If you want to reduce the amount of taxes that you're paying, go in there and increase the amount of monies that are going towards your retirement. See, these are two simple fixes, guys. These are two simple ways. It doesn't stop here, but this helps you to develop your financial confidence. JoJo, did you have something to say?
Yeah. Good morning, Kim, Avis, James. So, Lynn, on my end, when I worked with the service on the front with front end people, so talk about this morning real fast. For the people who we're telling them this, and they may not have what we call a salary. They work that hourly rate, and that hourly rate is $8.95, $9.95. $10, $11. So speak to those people how they can make, because you can make it happen with whatever amount you make. So talk to those people and tell them how they can make it happen. If I'm that frontline person and I'm making only $8, because a lot of my employees some were $750, $850, and what I found is that they were cash rich and credit poor because they had more cash. I was like, oh, I gotta go pay this, and they pulling out. Why? I was like, where you get that money from? They are cash rich because they more than likely don't have a checking account. It's on a prepaid card or something like that. And so they have money in their hand. And sometimes, honey, living way better than me with the salary with their money. So talk to those people who are on that hourly rate, $8 to $15 to $16 an hour.
So, well, essentially the formula is the same, right? For you, whether you make $10, $15 an hour, or if you're a salaried employee, everyone follows the same steps because we all pay Uncle Sam, right? You may be in a different tax bracket as far as the amount of monies that are coming out. But I'll say this to you, if you're in that situation where you're only making $10 or $15 an hour, there's tremendous opportunities for you there with tax savings too. See, there are other things that we can do, guys, beyond going in and changing around your W-4. Now, you can do that, right? You don't have to claim, maybe you need to claim another dependent on your taxes, right? If you haven't done that. Maybe you do claim your children, or if you're claiming too many, then maybe you need to take them back. But a caveat I want to put here, guys, is Uncle Sam knows, right? They watch everything that you do as far as your taxes. So JoJo mentioned earlier, this person comes in with this wad of monies, right? Coming in with all of this cash, but they don't have a bank account, or they don't have their cards. Guys, they can still trace and track you, especially if your items that you are purchasing are in your name. Don't think you can go through and not miss a house payment, not miss a rent payment, but you still filing your taxes, and you only turning in $15,000, $20,000 on your taxes, but you paying off this $100,000 house, right? This $200,000 house. You haven't missed a payment, but you're not making that much money. Uncle Sam gonna raise an eyebrow to that.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to be mindful of the things that you're doing as far as your finances. But getting back to those W-4s, guys, you use the same calculator that the salaried employee uses to go in and make those changes so that you can now realize some more money in your paycheck. Give yourself a raise in your paycheck is what I'm saying. And that's in your net, okay? Right? Not in your gross, in your net. That's coming to you.
That's your take home.
Exactly. So in looking at that, another thing that we can do, guys, and that we may not have considered that the rich do all the time, what are those expenses that we have every day that we can now deduct, right? Some expenses that we can now deduct in our taxes, but you don't know what those are. You don't know what those things are because you don't do those things. You haven't found out, if I start a business, Can I hire my children? Can I pay my child? Now that I'm paying my child, right? My child has to earn a certain amount of income. He doesn't now have to pay taxes on because he's not 18 yet, right? So understanding there are other little key things that we can do now to move and maximize on the monies that we're currently bringing home. And I know I've talked at a very high level about certain topics, but I will also be providing a webinar where we'll go into more detail around these things. What are those ways that the government wants to fund your retirement? There are 5 key ways for doing that, and I'm going to tell you how when I do that webinar. And that one is going to be a free webinar, so I'll be sending out more information. If you want that information, you'll just send me a text at 470-236-8282, because it's time out for us playing, guys, and we have to build a true financial confidence strategy that's going to get us to the next level. If you're not ready to go to the next level, if you're ready to continue doing what you do, that's fine. But that's not Lynn. That's not the way Lynn over. So
what'd you say, Lynn? So that's not Lynn.
No, that's not how we do it over here. So if you're ready to go to that next level and look at how you can start thinking differently about your finances, go ahead and sign up, guys. 470-236-8282. Just let me know you want in.
Yeah. So, guys, hold on one second. I was trying to pull up because I wanted to read the quote again. Okay, my computer was not wanting to be user friendly today. So the quote today was, believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. That's from Norman Vincent Peale. So when you're starting this journey, there's got to be some, I don't care how small it is, some level of confidence that you can achieve what you need to do. Now, and that also comes into play when you start to deal, and Lynn can speak to this too, when you start to deal with your family, when you understand something, when we start this change and we start to talk differently, because as we go, your communication is going to change. How you speak is going to change. The things you talk about are going to change. And it's going to irritate the devil out of you when somebody else wants to have the same petty conversation. You trying to talk about something else. When you're trying to talk about how you changing in your life. When you're talking about how you want to be better for yourself, your kids, your spouse. When you start talking about how you want to leave a legacy for your kids, and you're building this financial foundation for them, people are going to look at you like you're crazy, and they're going to aggravate you, and you're going to aggravate them because you're going in a different direction. So it's at that point where this quote is going to have to come in. You're going to have faith in yourself and confidence in yourself that you can continue doing what you're doing, because the first thing somebody's going to say, and I know this by experience, JoJo, you crazy. You always, what you doing now, JoJo? You always doing something. Can't you go sit down and just stop? And just stop doing that. You make me sick. You always talking. You always got something to say. We don't want to talk about that. Okay. As Lynn say, you don't have to, but I'm going to, because I'm going to do something different. And so once your language starts to change, your communication is going to start to change. Good morning, Sharon. Well, thank you, honey. We are expected the unexpected. Amen. You missed Lynn preaching this morning, so you need to go back to the first minute, and Lynn got our little praise on this one. She got our praise on this morning. But guys, when you start to change, you got to have faith and confidence in yourself. When you start to change and your communication changes and your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your money starts to change, because we talk about these together because they have to happen together, right? If they don't happen together, they're both going to fail. So as they start to change and as they start to happen, people are going to challenge you. And here's the thing. You don't have to answer them. When I figured that part out, my whole life changed. Like, oh, you don't agree? Okay, well, all right then. And keep it moving, because before I would try my best to convince people of what I was saying or convince them of other, and that's not my job. My job is to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's it. And to show them, sometimes you got to show them by walking it out. So, being in a good morning, Lynn, she saw you.
Good morning.
So yeah, when you start, some things you're gonna have to walk out for your family and your friends, and you're not gonna be able to tell them, and that's okay. You can tell me and Lynn. We listen. We've been there. We've done that before.
Oh.
So we know what you're gonna hear. So if you hear those conversations, JoJo girl, you do too much, or Sarah, you just doing too much. I don't know what's going on with you. It's okay. Tell them I'm setting my foundation while yours is falling down, and better yet, you don't even have to say anything. You don't have to respond at all. You don't have to respond, because guess what? Who they gonna call in a minute? They're gonna be calling you, because guess what? Your foundation is gonna be set, or at least they can see you building on it, and then they're gonna want some of that, or they're gonna want to try to figure out how you've done that. So that is where we're gonna be at for your motivational Monday today. You got to have some faith and confidence in yourself.
So guys, I want you to write this down. If you didn't write this down, because we need to change our mindset. We're talking about mindset and changing in that way to be motivated. So the powerful questions you need to be asking yourself, I mentioned that earlier. No longer can you say, I can't afford it. Remove that from your vocabulary. If you are a resourceful person, you're not going to say, how can I afford it? Right? What are those things that you can now do to be able to afford it? And now if you want to move to the top tier of that mindset, you need to think, how can I make it make me money? Right? How can I make this thing now make me money? Yeah, I want to buy this car, but how can I now make this car make me money? Right? And I'm not saying do this, but Uber and Lyft is another opportunity. Yeah, you got other things you need to worry about. There may be some miles put on your car and things of that nature, but you need to figure out, how do we now use things as an investment? What's the ROI, guys? What's the return on the investment? Start thinking of things that way as you move throughout your day. So because why do we say this? Why do we come and we share this every single day, guys? Because we want to be able to support and be the vehicle behind those things that we care about. We can't help the homeless if we barely making our rent, if we're barely making our mortgage, if we don't know where we're going to be from day to day. We cannot help those survivors of domestic violence. We can't put them anywhere. If we don't own the properties, then now put them somewhere, guys. We cannot be the economic vehicle. We cannot be the empowerer. We cannot be that one that takes things to the next level if we don't figure something out. See, it's time out for being broke, busted, and disgusted, guys. It's time out for all of the foolishness. It's time for us to do things differently, to do things better. So now we can do what the end goal is anyway. What we're here to do is to build a kingdom. And how do we build a kingdom if we're broken? If we're broken. How do we do
and if we're kingdom citizens, honey, we have certain rights as kingdom citizens, and we have certain privileges. So it's time to start using what you have available. You came equipped with everything you need. No. You're just not using it. You're just not using it. You're just not. And because there's so many of us that have so many talents, we are all millionaires in our mind. And please check my 5-second rule, Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. We're all millionaires in our mind, but we die broke because we scared to talk about that one thing that you know is worth money. Ain't nobody came up with. Can't nobody do it like you. This world has billions and billions of people, and you're the only person that can do what you do.
Right.
And God made it that way. So if he made it that way, he gave it to you for a reason. You need to use it, and don't give anything. I don't want to be, and look, we all have in church. I don't want to be like the guy with the talent who buried it in the ground. If you know, I don't need Jesus mad at me. I need him to be in a good mood when I get there. So I want to be able to use.
This is the beauty of it. Since you went there about the talent, this is the beauty. This is how God does stuff, guys. And I want you to catch this. When we talk about our finances, think of that talent as your finances. Okay, so that guy who hid his talent, he hid his finances under the bush. He didn't grow it. What did God do? He took it away. He gave it to the one with 10. Now you tell me if that's fair. That's the finances. He's 10x his finances, guys, right? And
Yeah.
he's doing great things. He's doing miraculous things, right? Do you think
Yeah.
he needed something else? No, but God said, I'm taking it from the one who did nothing with it and gave it to the one who did something with it.
Well, he said the least you could have did was
Now,
put it in the bank and let it draw interest. That's the least you could have did. That means the bare minimum you can do with your talent is to work it. The bare minimum you can do. So if you my cake baker, if you're my cooker, if you, I know people who have more degrees than me and still don't do what they're called to do. And that's okay, because sometimes it's hard to figure out. But if that one thing that gives you joy, you don't do, or you don't capitalize, God gave it to you for a reason. That's your gift. Please use it to the best of your ability. You know, God wants a return on his investment. He invested in you.
Thank you.
So, all right, God, we're not going to preach today. I don't know how we got on it. All right, guys. So that's it. I'm going to end before me and Lynn get started again. That's it for the Fearless Morning Show today. Lynn, you want to tell them where to reach you, where they can reach you at?
Well, guys, I really want you to join. I'm asking you to join the Develop Your Financial Confidence Strategy Challenge. It's a 4-day challenge. It's going to take you through. It's going to take you from everything from the bottom where you start your foundation to how do you maximize your take-home pay, to how do you generate more income, to how do you accumulate assets, because ultimately it's about leaving a legacy. And what's that legacy that you want to leave? So if you join this 4-day challenge, it walks you through day by day. You receive videos, you have a workbook. There's other things that you're asked to do every single day. Now, I'm telling you, it's easy, but it's not simple. You have to do the work. But it's all laid out there for you, the things that you need to do. So if you'll go to bit.ly/financial confidence strategy, the F is capitalized, the C is capitalized, and the S is capitalized. If you don't type it in correctly, you won't be able to get the link. We'll also put the link in the comments, bit.ly/financial confidence strategy. Or if it's easier for you to say text me and say, hey, Lynn, I want in on the challenge, and then I'll send you the link that way. You can text me at 470-236-8282. Guys, but it's imperative that we do things differently, that we stop being broke, busted, and disgusted and do something about it and move to our next level.
That's right, guys. And then also tomorrow, me and Lynn will start talking about this event in February. Love Your Life, Love Your Finances Masterclass. So we will, you may start seeing some posts about it today. I think we mentioned it in a video or two before, but definitely tomorrow we'll give you some more details and more information so you can join us February for that. So we can go more in depth and you can get some more information and start living past crazy in your life and in your finances. So, that's what it's all about, sharing that information. And I invite you to join me on the Be Fearless journey. So you can find me at fearless.com. That's fearless.com. And you can join the Be Fearless journey there. You can get my blog post and information so that I put out on a weekly basis, sometimes a daily basis, depending on how things are going. So guys, we ask you that you share the video. If it's helped you, please let us know, because we love feedback. For people to tell us how they like the morning show, what they would like to see. And if you have a quote that you would like for us to read, we'll always read it. I'm the nerd. Well, Lynn is the math science person, and I'm the nerd person of the group. So we love quotes. I'm reading this one more time, and I know I read it 4 times. I just like it. Believe in yourself today. Have faith in your abilities today. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. And that's by Norman Vincent Peale. So, guys, you got to have some level of confidence. And today is Motivational Monday. So have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. You're going to make this happen. Will the work be hard? Absolutely. Anyway, I ain't even going to lie. It's going to be hard. You might even cry a little bit because you're going to be like Lynn and JoJo done lost their darn mind. But It's going to be so worth it in the end. I promise. I promise. All right, guys. Hope we're over again this morning, but that's okay. I hope everybody has a great Monday. Lynn, I'm sure I'm going to talk to you in just a few minutes about all of your excitement from the weekend.
Yes, girl. It's on fire over here.
All right, guys. You guys have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow for Take Action Tuesday on the Fearless Morning Show. Have a great day.
Signing off.
Bye.